So Avram M. Chudnow was a lawyer here in town, and over his 92 years he collected all the items that you see on display in this museum, and he was passionate about the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. So that's how we showcase his items in this old house, in various rooms, shops, locations that we've kind of set up in this old home. I think if you're at all interested either in Milwaukee history or U.S. history, it's a great way to showcase some of the products and things that were debuting in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and it gives you a glimpse into the everyday items that people had in their homes, their stores, their shops. So it's a great way to show off his collection and for people to see how people lived during those 3 decades. So here we are in our Bayview Pharmacy. So in here we display some of the items that Mr. Chudnow collected related to medicine and the world of pharmacies back in the 1920s and 30s. In this room there's a lot of great products that in today's world we can't even imagine them being sold over the counter, but back in the early 20s this was a part of everyday life. Like for instance the tonics, the elixirs, the patent medicines. These were being sold over the counter. They contained either high doses of alcohol, cocaine, or heroin as additives. So people would buy these in response to, say, a stomach problem, a back problem. All it really did was just mask the problem. It would cover up the symptoms, make you feel better for a short period of time, and then it would be back again. But that's what the companies wanted because they wanted you to buy their products. So they basically had a customer for life, especially with the cocaine-laced or heroin-laced tonics. Even Bayer Aspirin was selling a cough syrup that had heroin as an additive. Well, heroin's a great pain reliever, but it unfortunately has horrible side effects. So a lot of people became addicted to the cough syrup back then. Bromo seltzer over here in the bright blue bottle. This was a product that was the favorite hangover relief in the 1920s. You'd wake up the next morning after a heavy night of drinking and you would mix up a glass of Bromo seltzer. You would take this. Well, bromide, the main ingredient in Bromo seltzer, is a narcotic. So the minute you take your Bromo seltzer, it goes straight to your head. Your headache is gone. You feel great. You're ready to go out and start another day of drinking. Unfortunately, they still sell Bromo seltzer today, but the government made them take out most of the bromide, so you don't get that same feeling today. Mr. Chudnow also collected thousands of bars of soap. Cleanliness or hygiene was a big part of this period, so people were taking more baths. They were trying to stay cleaner than what they had been in previous decades. So he's got all different brands, sizes, varieties here in the case. What else could I tell you? Oh, the electricity became a brand new thing in the 1920s, so they created electrical devices that some people said had health benefits. So the violet ray machine here, there's a basic kit and a deluxe one up there. The company said you plug this in, you rub the wand over your body, and as the electricity is shocking or stimulating you, that's ridding your body of poisons, toxins. It's revitalizing your blood. If you have arthritis, it'll get rid of your arthritis. And if you're somebody who's suffering from a lack of hair on the top of your head, you put the rake attachment in the wand and you rub this over your head and it will grow hair. Well, the government investigated these devices in the 20s and 30s, and after a lot of research determined that these devices were quack medicine. They did absolutely nothing for the patient. So this was a rip-off even back in the 20s and 30s, to the tune of $16.50 for a basic kit and $22 for a deluxe kit. So that was a lot of money in the 1920s to be ripping customers off. And then one last thing in here, the pharmacy would have one of these show globes hanging in the window. This was basically like the barber pole for the pharmacist. So this glass would be filled with a green liquid about the color of that vase up there, because green is the universal color of pharmacies. So this is a quick way for people as they're walking by the store window to see very quickly what this store is doing. So even in Europe today, they still have stores that display a little green symbol in their windows because green is still recognized as the universal color of pharmacies.